This is the book of First John, chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. This is the book of James, chapter 4, verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, all glory to call Loyam La Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Racha Kodash Brakatham. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwak and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is an edifying video. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say Shalom. It's the brother Yahweh Sap out of the GMS Cleveland Church, fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I got this from my Newsbreak article. It's like the Newsbreak article. This app, I can't remember what day. Well, it's dated September 29th, so that was like, Wednesday, I think. Today is the 1st, which is Friday. So, you see the headline, it's self-explanatory. It says, so if you can see, if you ever like, that's one thing about growing up in poverty. You can't be too dim-witted. Growing up in poverty makes you actually have to be a quick thinker. That's why people that, you have certain success stories where people come from poverty and gain a lot of money, because, you got to be quick with it. You got to be, it's a guy at my job. He just literally, I told him some bits of the truth. He said that same morning he almost got robbed. You know what I mean? So, and you know how the scriptures talk about in Isaiah 59 about he that depart of evil make of himself a prey. And it was spiritual because I was like, yeah, we probably gonna both get attacked. You know what I mean? By be telling, because it was like we at work and we really normally don't talk. We might talk in passing, but we was really talking. And I'm giving him all this information, and I mean, like literally, like we talking for like 20 minutes, and I'm giving him all this information, and something jumped on me, like, well, the spirit I want to say jumped on me, like I'm probably gonna get attacked. So I had trouble sleeping that night, and then he was like he had trouble sleeping, but that's what helped him to watch the videos. But he was like he almost got robbed. So just saying all that to say this, like at the end of the day, things are about to become more chaotic. Things are about to turn up more. Things are about to, the closer we get to the end, the harder everything's gonna get. That's just like a race. You know what I mean? Like if you're running in a race, you don't slow up at the end of the race. You push harder because that's the most difficult part. You know what I mean? The very end. You know what I mean? But it's just showing you, because he was aware of certain things. You know what I mean? And it's just showing you how they're pushing the narrative like is literally like who just made the statement? I think it was Elder Yashawamba, and somebody else made the statement though. It's like that's the new racism in America. You know what I mean? Basically, the maxed and the unmaxed. And they're pointing the finger at everything is the fault of those that choosing not to be or take part in this the agenda, this this part of they plot, they plan. People that's refusing this are being ostracized. They're being demonized. I put a video in the chat about from this guy. His channel is Chiseled Adonis, and he's a comedian, I guess. But I think he's against it because this ain't the first time he spoke on it, and it's a female that basically like has an OnlyFans channel page or whatever, and literally like she's getting paid for literally like being a harlot. You know what I mean? And he always goes in on this woman, but basically she made a statement about literally she'll let you see her Quebec if you could show her an actual like show her your vaccination card. And he went in or hard. He went in hard on her. And he was like, "Shit, dude, she worked for the Biden administration." I mean, like, what do you care for? Like if he said, and to show you the simplicity of the world, he said, now if you already vaccinated, he said that's one thing. You like, well, this bitch just giving it away. I might as well take it. So if you go look at it and you already got this shit, then that's one thing. He was like, well, he can't judge you on that. He said, but he guarantees, and I agree with him. He guarantees it's some goofy ass person out there that's gonna go get this just to see her old. I mean, this woman literally says she's had sex with like 300 people within like a week, and it like this. Like say I can't like say I know it's his last video. His channel is Chiseled Adonis. But saying all that to say this, because I ain't trying to digress like that. It's an article, and basically, the vaccine is a thing of the world. Once you really realize what they're doing, they literally, basically, if you want to be a part of this world, they're showing you that now, and that's where your persecution gonna come. That's why literally, like, it's coming where, they attacking the jobs. Come to find out that bill, that 666 bill, literally, the elder Yashawamba went into it. Literally, they're going to be able to attack the corporations that's refusing to actually mandate their employees to get the vaccine. They could fine them up to $750,000. Some kind of way. Nancy Pelosi, like the elder just went into it. So like, it's funny because it's all through that 666 bill. And then people talk about this ain't real though. But like I said, I'm gonna read a little bit of this article, and I got, I thought of a couple of scriptures, mainly, that John and that James, because they go, that's the precept to that, and being that, like I said, you gonna have, because basically you about to see who they consider the least, the group that's least with this agenda. So it says Republicans. So Republicans, because that's part of the major divide. People don't even realize, and it's funny too, because when you watch the Avengers, remember the movie Avengers? That was a comic book before it was a movie. All those movies are comic books first. I used to be in the comics real heavy. You know what I mean? To an extent, I'm still am. But don't get time. I mean, I don't read them like that. But, I'm familiar with, you know what I mean? To a certain extent, I'll still read one. But that's neither here nor there. That movie came out. You could see all the propaganda and occultic symbols in those new Marvel movies. And then, they was already showing the pre-programming, because when you go into Nick Fury and how Samuel L. Jackson became the new Nick Fury, the original character of Nick Fury was a Edomite. You know what I mean? And then slowly but surely, like years prior to them even putting Samuel L. Jackson in the movie, they start putting a character that favored Samuel L. Jackson. So then, boom, when he actually started appearing in the movie, it wasn't such a shock to these Edomites. Because you got to remember, like in that Mortal Kombat 11, Edomites got mad at the way Jack's ending was. You know what I mean? Like, so, they had to slowly spoon feed these Edomites that, because, you know what I mean? Like, that's one thing like, these Edomites funny. Like, they could be openly racist, but then we're considered racist for speaking the truth, though. Ain't that funny? It says Republicans white. It say white. Now that's beautiful, but you got to read between the lines. You really don't think that they, like the elder always mentions that we're no longer mentioned on the Southern Poverty Law Center's website as far as a hate group, but you don't think that they still got us on the scope? Like, trust me, you know what I mean? Like, it makes me wonder. They asking about all these religious exemptions, and you got a lot of people trying to file for them. But at the end of the day, you got to remember, when this new world order comes in, they're not going to try to be following the Bible at all. The Bible's going to be outlawed, so they're going to want to know everybody's religious denomination. But then also they wanted to know who all in your household. You know what I mean? So you don't know what they're gonna use that information for. You been and told them that you believe in the Most High God, and that's why you ain't gonna take this vaccine. And then they show up like in that movie V for Vendetta at 3 o'clock in the morning and put a bag over your fucking head and pull you up out the house. It says Republicans, so-called white evangelical Christians, and people living in rural areas are among the demographic groups most likely to say they will definitely not get the CV vaccine, a survey has found. The latest study from the Kaiser Family Foundation CV Vaccine Monitor reported that uninsured people under the age of 65 are the most reluctant to get the vaccine, with just 54% of those surveyed saying they had at least one dose. In this group, 18% said that they would definitely not, and 11% said they would only have the shot if required to do it. And you see how sneaky this devil is? You know, he's doing surveys. You know what I mean? What we going on, like what? They came out with the vaccine in like basically late 2020, and we in October now, so almost 10 months. You know what I mean? So they's trying to see the progress and see, you know, how it's spiritual and funny, because I remember when we was sitting down, me and one brother in particular, doing these videos about the vaccine, you know what I mean, coming across articles about the Brookings Institute. They were already trying to figure out how to actually like make it attractive for people to literally take this. That's why you had the certain lotteries where they're getting free shit to take a vaccination that's supposed to save your fucking life. If it was such a benefit, you don't have to market something that's going to be beneficial to somebody in a way where you gotta, like, you can win $1 million. Like, no, the person, if they know that that's actually gonna save them and help them, you wouldn't have to market it that way. But people aren't. Well, it's probably spiritual too, because like I said, you got people that don't research any of this like brothers do, don't know nothing about the scriptures like brothers do, but still in their spirit don't want to take it. You know, so Salaki from digression though. Nearly a quarter of Republicans, 23%, also said that they definitely would not be vaccinated, and that's your divide. Right now, they making statements like your blue state and your red state, and basically, I just did a video like that guy. I think his name is George. Damn, this is on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, the guy that was the wrestler for WWE that played the character Kane is actually a mayor of Tennessee. Just found that out, and basically, he has got notoriety because he is one of the people that's literally like one of the politicians that's literally talking about refusing Biden's order. You know what I mean? Because the fact, a lot of these politicians are saying basically they don't agree with it because of the way Biden did it. The way he's allowed to actually, he bypassed like Congress in the way he did some, like, and then a lot of people saying up there saying that basically he's not following the Constitution, but they're no longer using the Constitution. And I keep on stating this, I can't state it enough. Like, I recently was incarcerated. Your Constitution states that you got a certain amount of time to be, these is in the laws, you know what I mean? Certain amount of time to be tried, convicted, or released if you are basically charged with a crime. They're talking about they're not even following, you're supposed to have like 90 days. Unless you sign paperwork showing that you're going to get them. Like, I did that shit one time, being young and naive and not understanding the system. That's how you know that this, I literally, like, the Lord put a spirit on me one time to look at, like, when you look at the symbol of justice in America, it's a blind broad with some scales that are uneven. You know what I mean? Like, that's the symbol of justice in America. So, meaning that it's blind and, is unfair. Scriptures say that to the Most High God, a false weight is an abomination. When you judge, you're supposed to judge uprightly. You know what I mean? Like, these motherfuckers are judged to meet quotas and shit. You know what I mean? Like a person can literally be actually guilty of what the fuck they're being charged with, but because they got the money or they got this high esteemed lawyer or this lawyer is cool with the judge, they literally will get off. That's America. But like, not to turn this into something else. Uh, that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Hold on. This is good. It says the poll also found that the racial gap in vaccination rates is closing. The survey states that 71% of so-called white adults, 70%. These not right numbers because this is this double go. So I'm about to skip because that's funny. The survey was conducted by phone. And I can believe that though, because I just got a call out the blue from some kind of, and I should have followed the phone's advice. The phone was like scam likely, scam most likely. So I answered, and it's fucking some kind of police organization talking about, yeah, can you make a donation? I'm like, what? Many times you bitches sent me to jail. You think I'm about to give you some money? That's some funny shit. But to show you how, I mean, if they that desperate, they're just cold calling, like, just give us some money. Like, this shit over with. Like I say again, it just makes you think of the scriptures. Scriptures talk about how they're gonna come down with great wrath. So basically, they singled out those that have belief in the scriptures. They label white evangelists. Like the elder apostle Tahar always speaks on. The Bible built Christians, which a lot are Jake. You know what I mean? I agree with him on that, but what I mean, like the Bible bit, like literally, basically that's what they setting us up for, persecution of those that, because somebody just did a video about that, like literally, I think it was the elder apostle Tahar, where he was talking about how they was trying to say those that would probably completely refuse to actually take this vaccination were Bible built Christians, like Christians. You know what I mean? And that's why you about to get this Revelations 12 and 12. So let me bring that up real quick. Why do you think that they got, and they already got that in mind? You know what I mean? Like, why do you think they built all these like detainment centers? They had that in the news last year in New York. You know what I mean? I actually did a video about the CDC on their website, goes into Operation Shielding approach or whatnot, basically where they're gonna come into the households and basically, like, because they're trying to use the that's why they keep on painting the narrative of we gotta protect the vaccinated people from the unvaccinated. But to show you how simple, it's not really simplicity though. It's really a spell, it's witchcraft. You know what I mean? That's what it truly is. Because now it's like I said, they keep on pushing the narrative. Just pay attention. They'll be like, well, we got to protect the people that's vaccinated from those that's not vaccinated. That's what, Biden said it, that press secretary, I forgot what her position is, that bitch that they throw in front of the news when they be having their news conferences to answer questions for the Biden administration. Like, she's made that mention, made that statement, that's the narrative. But if you took this thing, you should be already, that's your protection, correct? That's the whole point of trying to make everybody get it. Or show you how it's witchcraft. Think about it. They said if you catch it, then your body gonna build up the antibodies to fight it. So why are you, if you got natural antibodies, why the fuck you gotta take, you get what I'm saying? Like, you got people that get the flu, but don't go get the flu shot. And they're not pushing, oh, you gotta, this book of Revelation. And then you got people that really sit up there and argue to the death. You really gonna have people, if they pass certain legislation, like, oh, you can't walk down the street without a mask. If they had legislation right now, well, which to a certain extent they do, you know what I mean? Like, they just ain't enforcing it like that. But you're gonna have people that's literally gonna be in certain places. They are. That's why you got I forgot where the fuck they was at, but it was somewhere in the UK, and basically, it was a confrontation between the police and a guy and a female. She was filming it, but basically he called the police officer a wanker or something like that. And I guess the police officer, of course, got his feelings. So they, jacked him up and arrested him. But they tried to use the excuse of he ain't got no mask. He like, I got 2 masks. You know what I mean? But that was enough cause for him to literally take him to jail. And he like, I got two masters though. But it was all based on the fact that, he was in his feelings. But, still, this is the book of Revelations 12, 12 verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and to the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And that's what you about to see more and more, is this devil getting more draconian. You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand, like, they like, with all these hospital employees actually quitting, because, like, it's like they put a situation into play that they knew was going to have these results, because it's not about they want a mass purge. What do you think's about to happen? Like, that's what when you got police officers either quitting or retiring, and then hospital staff quitting, what the fuck do you think is about to happen? Why everybody all these old brainiac smart people could tell you how to invest and make money, and I'm going to make $1 million off a dying system. I was just talking to the same Jay. He up there, but it's one thing when you are ignorant of a matter, you know what I mean? Like, if you didn't understand that this was the mark, now that you know, and you still thinking about, like, once you know about something, that's when you're going to get judged by it. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's even in the scriptures. Paul was basically, that's why Paul was spared, because he unknowingly, he didn't know he was actually going off. Yahweh Shai had to personally come to him. Because you got to remember, Paul actually was a Pharisee. He knew the scriptures. He just didn't have the truth. So he was zealous, but he was, the elder Apostle Hart always makes a statement. He said, you can be sincere. A person can be sincerely wrong too, though. So, point of the matter is, we about to face great persecution. But it also talks about, like in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, starting at verse 10, it says, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Verse 11, blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, which is coming. This is a form of persecution, like I said, where they're making it difficult, basically because you aren't subscribing with their system. You choose not to get, and this is the first time in history this is ever, I was just watching, I think the elder Malcolm put it, he did a video about it, because, I believe he's a senator or something, that Senator Rand Paul, he was basically questioning, I don't know who this individual is, you know what I mean, but basically it was a hearing or something. He was basically questioning, like, well, who are you to basically try to, because basically whoever this guy was made it seem like people like Rand Paul and anybody that says that they would rather, like, for instance, you got people that literally contracted it, and they just never went to the hospital and actually was sick. So they built up antibodies, but he basically saying that because they don't want to take for whatever reason, you just choose not to want to take the vaccination, that you rather have, like natural health, like natural remedy, just, promoting vitamin E and building up your immune system, which you would think these hospitals will be actually, not to digress, but the Lord is really truly cold. That's why, that's in the scriptures about thy eyes shall see thy teachers, and they will no longer be removed. I have learned so much from the elder apostles. You know what I mean? When you go into the whole word doctor means to falsify, and then you looking at this whole medical system, but it make a lot of sense, because I remember the elder Apostle Gabar did a video about the American Medical Association. When you go into the American Medical Association and find out who started it, who funded it, it was the Rockefellers. You know what I mean? Like the first medicines was actually oil-based medicines. That's why you don't really get, it's kind of like how the vaccine is. You got some people body that take it and they, for whatever reason, still walking around, and then you got some people that immediately drop dead or die weeks later or whatever the case may be. But what people don't realize is you got to remember you're still in an experiment. You're an experiment. It takes years for a vaccine to actually be developed. I think they was like the polio vaccine took like 10 to 15 years or something like that. This is the first time in history. So that's how you know that Revelations 12 and 12 is coming. Because, like I said, this is the first time they just created some shit like, and you got to take it. Like the mob. It says, blessed are ye when men shall revive you and persecute you. And like I said, not allowing you to work or feed your family. You can't go in a grocery store without showing a fucking card. That's persecution. Now, it is persecution to the point where they like, okay, now we about to round your ass up. But nonetheless, you being persecuted. Let's, it says that shall say all matter of evil against you falsely for my sake. I've been lied on for the truth's sake. You know what I mean? It's a lie that literally I can't do nothing about. Only thing is going the way that this is gonna get taken care of when the truth gonna come out is after Yahweh should I come back? Like, cause it's just a lot that's just just out there. Verse 12: Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. You know. And these are the things you supposed to count. You're supposed to count the cost before you jump in this truth. And I know that's easier said than done. You know what I mean? But I've heard people say that's the reason why they didn't jump into truth, because they literally like was sitting back and used the excuse of, oh yeah, well this and that and that and this, but not realizing if you know the truth, but you counted the cost and don't want to give up this or whatever the case, you gonna get judged for that too. It's kind of like you trying to literally hold on to your life on this side, like literally, like the elder Yahshua just made the statement. He's like, you gonna literally take this shit to end up losing in the end anyway. You know what I mean? Like you gonna stand up. You know what I mean? Because this is systematically set up anyway. You be done took this shit and still end up starving to death and shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 14. And if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, but if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye, and be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled. Because at the end of the day, that's what that's why, the comforter, which is these scriptures, it's a scripture. Matter of fact, let me get it. In Romans, I think, that talks about it's Romans chapter 5. This is Romans chapter 5, verse 3. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation work of patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. So the point is, like, when we going through these trials and tribulations that we catch on a daily, being chastised of the Lord, that's building. It's like how, like I was watching this guy on YouTube. I cannot pronounce his name, but basically, he a master in Taekwondo of monkey kung fu, and basically, like I didn't even know, but they got like ancient techniques that you see in the kung fu movies that they still literally do to this day. So this dude literally doing it, like he beating his hands and his body on steel. So do you imagine how hard this man's body is? You know what I mean? So that's just like this. Like when you catching your trials and tribulations on the daily, and it's truth being chastised of the Lord, that is building you up for the coming persecution. You know what I mean? Right now, that's your, that's a beautiful thing when you really take the time to think about it, because our head constantly says something. He's been constantly saying. I just paid attention to him recently, though. He like, they want these people to bug out, and that's what they want. They really, it's not coincidence that they're doing all this. They do. Literally, that was a survey. So they take that information, they gather that information, they take it back, and they sit back and they consult it, and they sit at the round table and talk about all this. They already knew. They run simulations. They already kind of knew, they already kind of knew what was going to happen. They play war games. They do all these different things. It tells you in scripture, they have what's the word? Basically did a diligent search. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, Esau is a cunning man. You know what I mean? He a fool to a certain extent, but at the same time, he is a cunning man. You know what I mean? Why do you think he got rulership right? Well, he got rulership because the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahshua put him in the, tells you that the Most High ruler in the kingdom of men. But, at the end of the day, Esau has, we put it like this, he has deceived the whole world. You know what I mean? Even to the point of like, literally like, but that's spiritual still. Like say, I don't want to be babbling or going back and forth, at the end of the day, it's like half and half, you know what I mean? Because some of it, it takes skill to be a deceiver, a cunning liar, you know what I mean? And some of it's spiritual, you know what I mean? Because like I say, like you got brothers, they got the spiritual eye salve, so you can clearly recognize, like, okay, he lied, or you recall something he said and he put his foot in his mouth. But then look at the rest of the world, you can literally, I've literally been out in public with my kids, and these Edomite motherfucking people will literally see me and my kids and actually put their mask on or walk away or some shit like that. All based on, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, wow, dude. So it's, like, that's not a easy, if you've ever tried to manipulate somebody, like, that's not very easy, you know what I mean? Like, for them to be able to do it on such a large scale, that's kind of, you know. I mean, look at what they did. The elder what's his name, Amawan Gabar. He said basically we in the new world order. You know what I mean? Like that started already. You know what I mean? Like, Salakia verse this Romans, book of Romans chapter 8. I'm going way longer than what I thought. I only got 3 more scriptures though. This book of Romans, chapter 8, point is 35. So those that's really sincere and really like have a relationship with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh, we are about to see if we are of the elect. Because the elect are the only ones, no matter what they're faced with, are not going to renounce and they're going to hold on to their integrity. You know what I mean? Because it was instilled in them from the beginning to do that. It's they won't be able to give up even if they, you know what I'm saying, like it's in them. You know what I mean? Like how certain people just are athletic, or some people just can fight or naturally draw or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just in them. Well, it's gonna be just in the elect to not bow down to this man's system. You know, it says Romans chapter 8, verse 35, who shall separate us from the love of Mashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Verse 37, nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. The point is, I mean, who shall separate us, And you gotta really have that in you, because you ain't even really seen the squeeze yet. Like you know what I mean? Like we ain't really started losing nothing yet. They playing with a lot of people's minds. You know what I mean? Oh, we about to shut the government down. You could have been gone ahead. Is you know what I mean? Now maybe the elites, maybe they got to get the say so from the elites. I don't know why the fuck he waited till the last minute. I think it's a lot of mind psyops because that's what they do. Another thing of the devil. You know what I mean? You know, it's an old saying. When I was a young man, I heard, and then when you go into like men that mac, I mean, I don't like to use that phrase pimp, men that be macking and shit. They say you get a woman's mind before you get their body, you know what I mean? Because that's what's gonna have her in love with you. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's why do you think you got women that's prostitutes that go fuck 50 men but probably not love none of them, but love one, or be in love with the guy that's the pimp, like the whoremonger? You know what I mean? Like in the scriptures say the whoremonger, the guy that's literally the pimp, they could be in love with, but go lay down with all these other men for the pimp, right? Because he had her mind. And the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, gotta have our mind. You know what I mean? In the times to come, because like I said, this, you know what I mean. If that's what this talks about in the book of Matthew, about your eye gotta be single, because if your eye is focused on anything but the truth, be it your children, be it your woman, be it your job, whatever the fuck, like I mean, you gonna fold. You know what I mean? Like I said, we wait till they start fucking with the grocery stores. Wait till that come over here. Like I said, and I can't say when the Lord gonna really like do what it do. Like Psalms 119 gonna work, but at the same time, I can see the squeeze coming on. It's a reason why they um, claim to call for a dark winter like the year before. And then this bitch, and you normally don't see this Kamala Harris chick like that. I will say that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what kind of sneaky shit they gonna do. You know what I mean? They talk about Biden up there shitting on himself and talking to himself and doing all kind of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Who's to say what they gonna do? Take him out and put her in, and that's when you know it's really gonna be over with. This book of James, chapter 1, verse 12. James 1 and 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua have promised to them that love him. You know, the elder Yashawamba did a video. Well, I asked him for, he made mention of it. And you know how many videos they cap do, but especially the elder, he be doing like 5 in one day. They be like hour video. I'm like, damn, he be in the spirit. But anyway, he made mention of a video he did about Enoch. And I asked him, can he send a link? And through the spirit called law, he put the link up. So I think I put it in our group chat, but that's a deep breakdown. You know what I mean? So if you haven't ever got that breakdown, you should go check that out. Because at the end of the day, the Most High God always leaves a remnant. That's going to refuse to bow down and not and continue to follow the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And we hoping to be of that remnant now, so we can gain our crown. Blessed is he that Salaki, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life. If he endure his temptation, if he finishes trial, because you got a lot of men that literally, like I said, took hold of the plow and looked back, and what I mean, you don't want to be that man. You really don't. Yeah. Like I said, it tells you in Scripture, it's better to not have known the truth than have known the truth and then to turn back. Roughly paraphrase. A brother whose channel is Bakar Mouth, he made a statement. He said, the Lord, you got to understand, in the book of Job, chapter 18, he's called the king of terrors. He said, you could be wishing for death, bleeding out, but don't die like that. And then out the blue, you just bleeding, smelling of blood, and some wild ass animals come out of nowhere and just start eating on your head. Like shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? So, you don't want to be that man that took hold of the plow and then turned back. And Lord willingly, I'm not. Like I said, we, like the brother said, we are, almost there. That's why everything's about to turn, or is turning up and about to turn up even more. I got one last scripture. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon the whole world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So, like I said again, the elect is going to have that spirit to endure whatever temptation is put in front of you, meaning trial. Well, matter of fact, let me get it out of the blue letter. So, because I made the only time I won't say only time, is twice. I had to make a retraction. And come to find out, I've been breaking down, what's that, Isaiah 19 wrong. As far as the cruel Lord, I thought it was Yahushua, but it's not. But Revelations 3. Says temptation, keep it right. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. So it's trial.
Strong's G 3986. Pyrosmas. Pyrosmas.
Pyrosmas, and it says experiment, attempt, trial, proving. Trial, proving, trial made of you by bodily condition. And that's the spirit, because we all about to be tried spiritually and physically. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation or your trial, which shall come upon the whole world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And we all about to be tried with what's gonna either, is you gonna be willing to give up the world, or is it's gonna be something that's gonna make you want to remain in the world. Verse 11, behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So hold on to the portion that you was given of this truth. Hold on to this truth. That no man take thy crown. Especially these fucking Edomites, or Shantai, you know what I mean? Spiritual Shantai. Because the thing is, Shantai, got the world right now, you know what I mean? And he don't want to let none of us go. You know. But like I said, at the end of the day, when you become a new creature, you of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. So you're no longer of the world. So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, to the statutes, and to the commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, or be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to Koholoyim, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodas Bakatam. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwath and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this was an edifying video. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations. Subscribe to the truth to you. I say shalom. Till next time, Lord willingly, shalom, shalom. Wath lababah, shalom.